everyone, or afternoon, whatever it is. This is Karl Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania. This is going to be my generic intro from now on because of my situation. I just have to sneak around to do videos from now on because of the things. Anyway, we're going to get into the video right after this. Good morning, everyone. This is Karl Rose recording live from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Saturday, November 10th, 2018. And I just wanted to get this short little video out. A little bit on the Red Wings, on the Pistons, on the Lions, and then on the Wolverines. And since today's Saturday, well, we'll get into that. Anyway, the Pistons, looks like it's going to be a lot more enjoyable to watch the Pistons and the Red Wings instead of the Lions. I'll get into that. I'll get into the Lions in a minute. But let's start with the Red Wings. They beat the Rangers last night in overtime. Dylan Larkin is starting to take off, which is good. They started the season 0-7-1, something like that. But now they're like 6-8, I believe. Anyway, I've predicted. I said that the Wings and the Pistons both would just be a disaster. Well, what I didn't really realize, as far as the Pistons go, that they had a number of their main people injured to start off the season. Well, they're coming back now. Their key players are coming back from injuries, and they're getting back in the lineup. The very first game of the season I watched, they had their starting line one was all rookies. They hadn't done that since their losing season in the 1980s, so it was a disastrous game. But then again, when your whole line is all rookies and they're starting out in their first NHL game, well, that's going to happen. I have to say, though, even though they did lose, there is a future for the Red Wings. They're youngsters. They're going to be, if they get more playing time, when they get called up as needed, this is good. They're working them in. But now they've won like 4 of 6 lately, so that's pretty good. But I said they were going to be dead last. I mean, they are barely ahead of one other team, and I think it's the Florida Panthers. I'm not sure, something like that. Anyway, they're almost in dead last, but they're picking it up. So this is encouraging. Now the Pistons, they dominated Atlanta the other night, and excuse me, just ate some chips and had something go in there. Anyway. Yeah, they dominated Atlanta, and I said a while back, a few videos back, that they would only win like maybe 20 games. Well, they're at 6. They have 6 wins. They're like 6-5 right now, something like that. Both the Red Wings and the Pistons, they're playing at a 50-50 pace average. It's not going to get you anywhere, but it's still early in the season for both teams. We won't know really what direction the Red Wings or the Pistons are heading in until probably the end of January. So if either or both of these teams make some pretty good runs from here and there, and they're positioning themselves into a spot, well, that's good. That's what we want. As I said, I thought the Pistons would only win like maybe a maximum of 20 games, but that's definitely wrong. I was off on that, and it looks like Casey, excuse me again, Casey is a nice relief. Let me just say, I haven't really watched too much of it, so I can't really say anything about his coaching style, but from what I can see, what little I've seen, it's a lot better than Stan Van Gundy. Van Gundy was an idiot. He was putting in players at the wrong time. He wasn't using players when he should be using them. He was using players when he shouldn't be using them. And then his dumb comments, post-game comments, it was like, oh well, whatever. And it's like, you know, if I'm the owner of the team, my head coach is saying, oh well, whatever. It's like, oh well, whatever. You're out the door, buddy. You know, your job is to win, not to go, oh well, whatever. I couldn't stand Van Gundy, so this will be, you know, they're not going to be at the top of the league, but they are going in the right direction. Maybe they'll get in the playoffs, and maybe they'll win a series in the playoffs, but we won't really know until, like I said, the end of January, if they're even heading towards playoff territory or not. So, but anyway, it's a good start for both of those teams. Now, on the Lions, I'm going to keep one eye open on the Lions, and on my main focus, since I grew up in Los Angeles, I'm putting my full blast, all my energy into the Los Angeles Rams, as it should be. I was born in Detroit, and that's as far as it goes. But I would really like to see the Lions do something, so I'm going to be looking at them with one eye. I will want them to win, but it is what it is with the Lions. This is going to be... excuse me again. I can't get this out of my throat. Anyway, tomorrow's game with the Bears, that's going to be scary. If it looks like T.J. Lang is out, his substitute better be ready. And I'm putting a lot of this, you know, as much as I am a big critic of Jim Bob Cooter, but credit or blame needs to be put where it is. And Matthew Stafford has to take quite of this. That stupid pitch to him to Kerryon Johnson was just ridiculous. But he just give up on the game. That's kind of my thoughts on that. But he's the signal caller. He's lining up the offensive line when he's doing this and that. So there's a lot of areas where Matt Stafford is just screwing up big time. And what I would suggest, I think Jim Bob Cooter, since Matt Stafford likes him so much, demote Jim Bob Cooter, put him back to where he's just working one-on-one with him. Make him back to the quarterback's coach. Then get in an offense coordinator who knows how to actually call plays and stuff. And have Cooter help develop Stafford into because he's just holding on to the balls too long. That's why he's getting killed. So you can't blame Jim Bob Cooter when Stafford should be either throwing it away or, you know, he has situations where he could actually run a little bit and at least get a positive out of it, but he's not doing that. So I don't know what's going on. So, but the Lions, the only way the Lions can salvage their season and actually make anything, they would have to win out. But that's what championship teams do. They don't have a championship team. But, you know, if miracles of miracles, if they win the next 8 in a row, and they end up 11-5, well, that would be a statement. But I don't. They're just not good enough. Too many holes. And personally, I'm fearing for Matt Stafford's health in the next, because they got Chicago twice. He gets beat up by Mac, and then they play the Rams down the road. If Mac doesn't injure the Stafford, I mean, it's going to be more than just a little itty bitty finger. It's going to be serious. And And if Mac doesn't injure him to knock out his season, Aaron Donald on the Rams will. Could be very ugly for the Lions these next few games, or it could be very good. It just all depends. But I'm not expecting much from the Lions. They're going to get a couple of wins, 2 or 3 wins maybe, 6-10, something like that. But they're not going anywhere unless a big miracle happens, and that's about it. So that's why I'm paying more attention to the Red Wings and Pistons. Their seasons look a lot more exciting, and there's a lot of hope for both the Pistons and Red Wings, but we'll see later, as I said earlier. Last thing before I finish, because I've been going on for a while, the Wolverines. Now, they play Rutgers today at 3-something. They are favored by something like 39 points. Let's just hope this revenge tour goes, and I think Jim Harbaugh is, and I want to compare, kind of like I did this in another video, but Harbaugh with the Patricia thing. I was one of those who was jumping on the thing saying, get rid of Harbaugh, get rid of Harbaugh. This is his 4th year, and he's finally turning things around. So now I've got to bite my lip and say, keep Harbaugh, keep Harbaugh. You just can't go into something and expect overnight success. It doesn't happen on any level, not in the NCAA, not in the NFL, and all the way down the line, even to high school stuff. You just can't turn around a program overnight. So this is Harbaugh's 4th year, I believe, 3rd or 4th, and look what he's doing. I think this is going to continue. Whether or not they win the Big Ten, whether or not they win a national champion, that's going to be tough. Alabama's a tough team, and they really do have to, because in the polls they do have to blow out. This has got to be a blowout score with Rutgers today. It's got to be, and I think Harbaugh has them focused on each individual game, and they've got the pedal to the metal. They're going full blast. So let's hope for a blowout. I mean, we're talking about like 56-10 or 65-17 or something like that, where Rutgers points are done on garbage time. Preferably it would be a shutout. They nearly shut out Penn State, so there's no reason why they shouldn't shut out Rutgers in a blowout fashion, like 55-0. That would be great. But they need to do that, and that will keep them in the number 4. But if they play lackluster, God forbid a loss, or even just a squeak by victory, they're going to be dropped down. They'll be knocked out of the 4th. They'll still be in the top 10, but if they win ugly, it's going to be ugly because they're going to drop in the polls. So it needs to be a blowout win, needs to be convincing, and go blue. That's it. Let's hope Matt Stafford stays healthy tomorrow. I'm really worried about that game. And again, my focus, my one eye is going to be on the Lions, and my main focus is going to be on the Rams. Rams are doing it, and when they're playing bad, they're still finding ways to win to play bad. That's what I want to see from the Lions. Even when they're playing bad, come out with a W. Because you're not going to play good every week. That just happens. You're going to have a tough battle. But the idea is to get the W, just not give up like they did the last 2 weeks, because that's what it looked like. Anyway, that's it. I've talked enough, and I will talk to you later.